All right, as we continue on to the next lesson, we are going to talk about general equations part 2. When a variable occurs on each side of an equation, the addition properties are used to rewrite the equation so that the variable terms are on one side of the equation and constant terms are on the other side of the equation. Then the multiplication properties are used to simplify the equation to one of the form, variable equals constant. Okay, so for example, if we're going to solve 4x minus 6 equals 8 minus 3x. So the goal is to write the equation in the form variable equals constant. So we're going to add 3x to each side of the equation. Okay, and once we have done that, that is going to give me 8 plus 0, because that gets rid of that. And of course, what we did to one side, we're going to do to the other. So then, now when we're at this point, we still have to worry about what's going to go on this side. And so we're looking at 4 plus 3x, that should be x, I'm sorry. 4 plus 3x is 7x. Minus 6. Okay, as we continue on, we know that is 8, and this is still 7x minus 6. Now then, what do we do from this point on? So now we need to add 6 to each side of the equation. To do that, you're going to write 7x minus 6 plus 6, because that is the opposite of negative 6, equals 8 plus 6. So then when we do that, we are left with 7x equals 14, because that and that is 14. Okay, and then we're not done yet. We're not quite done. If this means multiply, we're going to divide by 7. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. So that is x equals 2. So what happens whenever we have an equation that contains a parentheses? So one of the steps in solving the equation requires the use of distributive property. So distributive property is used to rewrite a variable expression without parentheses. So for example, let's try to solve 4 times 3 plus x minus 2 equals 2x minus 4. So the goal is to write the equation in variable constant. So we're going to use a distributive property to rewrite the equation without parentheses. And then we're going to, of course, combine like terms and use the addition property of equations by subtracting 2x from each side of the equation. So the first things first, we are going to take care of what we have here. So 4 and 3, 4 times 3 is 12, plus 4 times x is 4x. You bring down your 2. Okay. 2 and x, 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 8 equals negative 8. Okay. Now then, what do we do next? This is going to be 12 minus 2 is 10 plus, you bring down your 4x, equals 2x minus 8, because there's nothing we can really do here at this point right now. And then what are we going to do is we're going to subtract 2x from each side of the equation. So we are going to write it 2x minus 2x, because that's a positive, so that would be a negative. Whatever we do to the right, whatever we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. So when we rewrite this, this is the way it is going to look. Okay, so now we have these on both sides. We must move on. So at this point, we've got 10 plus 4x minus 2x equals 2x minus 2x minus 8. So now let's keep simplifying. So now we are going to 4 and 2 is 2x. We still have our 10 over here. This cancels that. And then we still have negative 8. If that is positive adding, we're going to do the opposite. So now we're going to do 10 minus 10 plus 2x equals negative 8. And we have to do the same to the other side. So now then, that cancels that. So we have 2x equals, okay, that is going to be 8 plus 10 because they're both negative. It's going to give you 18. You bring down your negative with you because this is adding. So now that it's 2x equals negative 18, we're not done yet. We still need our x by itself, and in order to get it by itself, we do the opposite. So this is multiplying, so now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to do divide. Okay, and that's going to give you negative 9. Now then, I would recommend you check your solution. And so the way to check it, you're going to plug in negative 9 to all the x's. If one side equals the other side, then that is the solution. And in summary, what you just solved, the steps involved, is called solving general first degree equations, which is a 5-step process. You use, number 1, you use the distributive property to remove parentheses. 2, combine like terms on each side of the equation. 3, you use the addition property of equations to rewrite the equation with only one variable term. 4, you use the additional property of equations to rewrite the equations with only one constant term. And 5, use the multiplication property of equations to rewrite the equation so that the coefficient of the variable is 1. So this is an example of how to solve general first degree equations.